That's No Doubt.
What's the song?
Spiderwebs.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
It's a good album that No Doubt
Did
released.
not expect you to go with No Doubt.
I don't know where it came from.
I never know where you're going with it. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson.
Great Measures, Richard.
This intro is going to be very short, to the point. We are revisiting Polyphia.
Oh.
We did Ego Death with Steve Vai. I think that's the only one we've done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was the first single released from their album in 2022 called Remember That You Will Die. The song is called Playing God. It went extremely viral when it came out. It was also Loudwire's 2022 Song of the Year.
Oh, cool.
So shout out to Loudwire.
Loudwire.
That's it. We're going to let you watch the video.
Loudwire.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Proceed, Judson.
Here I go. So, here we go. So, I saw this interview with Eddie Van Halen, talking about how he didn't use guitar. He didn't use any effects pedals.
Okay.
He just plugged his guitar up into his amp and he made sure whatever the amp was in his guitar, whatever, however his guitar was made, and that's it. He didn't use pedals, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. I want to say he also modified his guitar, right? I think he called it Frankenstein, or
I mean,
like
it was
that.
built. Yeah, it's built. But I mean,
Sort of a Brian May style of doing things with his custom guitar.
Yeah, but that guy's like an astrophysicist.
Sure. Yeah.
So their sound is very definite. My favorite part of their music is the drum and the bass.
Okay.
Just how they and they have that characteristic thing to them, that break where they, break and they boom when they come into it. And his guitar,
Tim Henson, yeah.
His kind of like Jim Henson, the creator of the Muppets.
Here we go.
The greatest comedy endeavor ever. His guitar has there wasn't any frills to the sound of his guitar.
As far as like distortion and
tone, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Or the other cat. And sometimes I get lost in all the busyness of what both of them are doing.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, there's just not much strumming. They just don't really. They do. They incorporate it, but they're not just kumbaya or anything.
Right. Yeah.
Which I wonder what they would say. If they would ever do a straight up just strumming song GCD thing. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? But with that bass and that.
Yeah.
But it's funny to me watching the video, at least, how they go. First part of the song is pretty slamming, and then, man, I don't want to get in trouble for saying this, but then they go to their break and they get a little softer, and you see them all like chilling in chairs, and then it gets to the point where Henson's laying on his back, totally lounging, and by that point. There's sort of an elevator music.
Okay. Sure.
Feel to it. You know what I mean?
Whistling and stuff.
Sort
like
of,
that.
right before that, like the melody that they after the first break that they caught onto. What I was kind of like, I've heard that. I think I've heard this before. It's just that doom doom doo 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 doo.
You're right.
It's just kind of a. You know what I mean?
I do. I know what you mean. Yeah. It's pretty easy listening.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, but I really like the bass. What they do with the bass and the drums. There's just so much, son. I mean, the drummer hits so many things with them. They're one unit for sure. If you try to look at this to understand, again, we talked about this with Steve Vai. It's very difficult to kind of get the idea of why they would call the song
Playing God.
Yeah.
Or Ego Death.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the music. Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay.
Because, I mean, what sounds are they putting out that somebody identifies as that's a God sound, or that's a playing sound, or that's a facade, putting on a facade, or you understand what I mean? Well,
I mean, in the Ego Death video, I think you did say that he was endorsed by God.
Yeah.
When I was saying he was endorsed by Ibanez. My reaction to Polyphia with everything they do is, and I mean this in the highest praise possible, I get so discouraged. Because I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, who cares? Who wants to play music anymore?
Yeah. Why even try?
Right. But if they're referring to the snare of someone trying to play God, I don't hear that so much as much as
I see what you mean. Yeah.
As much as I do, they're playing what they think is the like God's way, God's how would I say that? Like how God is, like his his mood, like his what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
I know.
I don't know where you're going with
his well, I mean, you know, like his the way that God kind of sits and does it, like in his mind, he's just sitting around whistling, doing whatever God does, you know?
I got you, yeah.
Like God, I can't think of a good word for this. God's, they're just creating like this whistling, like God. So at the end, God's just kind of whistling, going about his day, or its day, her day, however you want to say, its day. Just kind of doing what it does, and that's what they're playing is
right.
is you know, the character of or the mindset, sort of, so to speak. I can't come up with a good word for it. Then, you know, they focus in on this painting at the end, which is sort of a play on the spark of life from Michelangelo, you know, with Adam and God. It's reversed, it seems, in that painting. But he's holding a sword instead. Maybe that's not. I mean, it's obviously the images and it's what it sort of invokes from the idea. But yeah, you know, I don't know. It's hard to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to my favorite band in the world, Medeski, Martin and Wood, made up of John Medeski, Chris Wood, and Billy Martin. Medeski, Martin and Wood are a trio of musicians. I mean, I guess they started out in jazz, but I got to talk to John Medeski once because I got to play with him once, and I was just running his ear off because, I mean, like I said, my favorite band in the world, and their albums, they do a lot of improv stuff too, a lot of improv stuff, and I was asking him about a particular track on one of the albums. The Dropper is the name of the album, and Bone Digger was the name of the song, and he was like, which one is, how does that one go? So it's almost as if, and from what I gathered from talking to him, was they would kind of come in with a musical idea, or they'd improv something, and they'd find that idea, and then they'd build a song around it, or they just play it for a little while, and then they'd apply a name to it afterwards, or somebody else would. So I just kind of wonder if they come to the name of the song through, if they create the song based on the idea of whatever the title is, or if they apply the title
the
later.
song based on what they hear. That's a good question. I don't know.
It's like an abstract painting. I mean, you know, Jackson Pollock, most of his stuff was untitled, number, whatever. But people incorporate certain feelings and emotions through certain colors, and then the severity of how the lines are, whether they're straight, whether they're curved, whether they're big, you know, if they're squared off, you know,
right.
Things rigid, whatever. People see things as smooth, or so it's more comfortable, or so I don't know. With that song, I don't mean to cut you off, but that song in particular is real kind of easygoing and real kind of moves through. It starts off pretty, I guess you could say heavy, but not so heavier in the terms of how they were playing.
Yeah.
And then it just gets gradually more airy and chill and to whistling. I mean, when you think of somebody whistling, they're just carefree.
Right.
Maybe that's what I was looking for, was they're playing the carefree mind of God, so to speak.
Okay.
I don't know. What were you going to say?
No, I just, again, in my simplistic, minimalistic way of looking at things, the kids would say they're playing, I think it's God tier or God mode or something. I don't know. I don't want to sound like some old dude, but their playing ability is godlike, or you know what I mean? Like
sure.
So that's how I view it. So
they're playing God.
Possibly. I don't know. You're probably closer to the right answer than I am. No. There's no way of knowing that at all. With every video,
with
I just
either
make
one
myself
of us
look dumber and
so do I. I thought that was the whole point of this.
It is. People watch us for some reason.
To react to our dumbness.
Yeah, that's it. They're just sitting there shaking their head and scoffing at us. These idiots.
So dumb.
All right, cool. Thanks for watching, everybody. That was Playing God by Polyphia. My name is Richard. This is Judson, and we are Great Measures.
Do it. Say it again. Say it, Great Measures.
We are Great Measures.
All right.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.